Hey, Suzanne here with Caregiver Haven. So we have a couple of great questions again from our members that I want to discuss with you today because they're so common. And I oftentimes forget to just tell you guys all this. All right, question number one. My dad's pharmacy switched his heart medication to a generic last month, and now the pill is blue instead of white. And he's convinced it's the wrong medication and he refuses to take it. I've explained to him 5 times. I've shown him the bottle. I've had the pharmacy on speakerphone while he listened, and he still won't take it. Meanwhile, his blood pressure is climbing, and I'm terrified he's going to have a stroke. How do I get him to trust these new pills before something terrible happens? Well, I hear you, because the first thing we always look at is when medications are switched, what's going on. But he's just refusing to take this one, so this is a whole different story. Sometimes switching medications can cause new side effects. That's not the case here. So I've seen patients who have, dementia or memory loss. They are afraid of taking pills anyway. So your dad's not being stubborn. Your dad's trying to actually be safe. And he doesn't feel that this pill is doing the same thing. And his brain is screaming danger. So first, take a clear photo of the old pill bottle next to the new pills. If you still have any of the old white pills, photograph them side by side with the new blue pills. Print this photo out. I mean, actually print it out on paper. That's what you're going to do. And then tape it to the inside of his medicine cabinet or wherever he keeps his pills. Okay? Visual memory is often stronger than verbal explanations, especially as we age. So we want to remember. So every time he opens that cabinet, he'll see the comparison. That one pill equals the other pill right on that photo in big letters. Same medicine, pharmacy changed color for safety reasons. Okay? You can even say for safety reasons. Second, ask the pharmacy if they can special order the manufacturing that makes the white version. Not all pharmacies will do this, but some will, especially when you explain that the medication compliance is at risk. And if they won't, ask your dad's doctor to write a prescription specifying DAW, that is dispense as written, okay? So they don't switch it to a generic. If cost is not an issue, go back to the regular brand name, all right? What's going to cost more, a stroke or medication? Obviously a stroke, and he's not taking his medication now, so you really do need to do something. Third, and this is really important, get your doctor involved in this, okay? Have your doctor call your dad or do a virtual meeting to explain to your dad what's actually happening, okay? If you have to take your dad back into the doctor's office, have him explain it. Like I said, slip the doctor a note and say, this is a change in medication and he won't take it anymore because it's not a white pill. How do I get him to take it? So put the pills too in an organizer where there's clear labels, Monday morning, Tuesday afternoon, things like that. So your dad doesn't know what pills he's taking, but he knows he has to take all of those in that container. And he may very well forget about the blue pill eventually. All right. Or there may even be another blue pill in there and he thinks that's the pill. The last thing, document, write down every time he refuses to take his medication and what his blood pressure reading is and what you've tried. And if this escalates to a medical emergency, that documentation shows that you did everything you could, and that's going to protect you. And it also gives the ER doctor, because that's where you're going to end up, the critical information about medication compliance issues. Okay? I can't tell you the number of times working in the ER that it was a medication compliance issue. All right? Medications were switched all the time. The seniors wouldn't take them. They didn't trust anymore. It goes on and on. You're not alone in that. It just happens. All right. Question number 2. I'm losing my mind over my mother's new Medicare Advantage plan. Don't we all? All right. Her old insurance covered everything at her usual pharmacy with a $15 copay. Now nothing is covered there. The new in-network pharmacy or preferred pharmacy is 40 minutes away, and 3 of her medications went from $15 to $85 each. She's on a fixed income, and so am I. She told me yesterday she's just going to stop taking medications because they're too expensive, and she feels fine anyway. So many people say this, especially with antidepressants. They say, well, I felt fine, so I stopped my medication. No, It was the medication that was making you feel fine. So you shouldn't stop it. But that's a sidebar. Okay. One of those medications is her blood thinner. I don't even know where to start fixing this disaster. Do I switch her back to original Medicare? Or do I fight the insurance companies? Do I just pay for it myself and go broke? What do I do? Oh, brother. Okay. So you got to get her back on these medications again, and you got to lower these costs. All right. I don't know that you're going to get the cost back to where you were, but you're going to check with this is urgent because your mom can't stop taking her blood thinner because of the cost. You can't. Once you start on blood thinner, you can't stop. You have to take it like every 24 hours or directed exactly at the same time every day. I mean, you have to. Otherwise, it will form a clot if you stop. All right. So it's incredibly dangerous to do that. It is one of the first questions we'd ask in the ER. Did they stop their medications? All right. So call your doctor's office, not today. I mean, not tomorrow. You got to call them today, explain exactly what happened with the insurance change and the copay. And then you're going to go through and you're going to start looking at cheaper costs. If she's on a fixed income or a low income, you might be able to get the medication for free or very little directly from the pharmaceutical company. Also, you might look at mail order. Okay, not going to the pharmacy anymore, but going to mail order to see if you can get it less there. Most physicians, especially working with seniors, understand how expensive these medications are. And so they will do everything possible to get the medications down. In fact, I had one lady who, well, I've had plenty, but one lady came in with medication chart. She said, here are my generics. Here are not my generics. I need you to, if you're going to write a medication, I need it on generic. And I got it. And it was right there. Told me exactly what I needed. So I didn't have to write her a bad prescription that she was going to have to call me back for. I loved it. She gave me exactly what I needed, part of her insurance plan. And I don't know why patients don't bring this into their doctors, because the doctors would probably faint if you did, and probably lean over and kiss your mother if she would bring in her formulary. It's called a formulary. It's a list of medications that the insurance company says are generic and are usually free or just a couple of dollars. All right. So that 40-minute drive, see if you can do mail order or you can get this changed to a preferred pharmacy. Again, you may have to talk to a healthcare broker about this and see if this can change. Also, look at cash price. Okay. See if paying cash, not using your insurance is another way of saying that. If you don't use your insurance, is the cash price actually less expensive? It usually is. Now, it doesn't apply to your mom's deductible, and she needs to know that. But your mom, you said, she's just on a few medications anyway. But mark your calendar again for next October. Get yourself a healthcare broker, a professional one that's been in the business for years and years and years and understands Medicare and knows what's best for your mom, and see about that mail order option, or having your mom go directly to the pharmaceutical company and fill out the paperwork and get her medication there. Because remember, she can't have a stroke. It's going to be costly in more ways than one. So she can't do that. So if you're stuck on these prices, these plans, get the help that you need. Take care, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.